Hi, my name is Kaylee Duran, and while filming No Red Ink, I wasn't like one of the actors particularly, but I would like to go in depth and like why we chose certain scenes and what we chose to do. So starting off in the beginning, we have the opening shot of one of our favorite teachers, Mr. Deacon. He was a definite obvious choice for the role that we had him in. He is like one of our favorite teachers. He was my teacher last year, and we thought we could have a lot of fun filming him around. So it's very interesting asking your teacher during lunch if you just lay on the ground and pretend to be dead. But it was very fun, and he enjoyed it. Continuing on to our main title, we wanted to choose something that was very like murder mystery, but high class murder mystery, because No Red Ink, if you didn't know, is like a grammar website that he had us do every single week, and it is ridiculous like how much grammar and how much goes into all of this. So it is just that's how we decided to go No Red Ink anyway. With our clothing choices, we didn't really have any specifics for our teachers, because teachers were what teachers wear. Like, they're not supposed to be acting as anyone else, they're supposed to be acting as teachers. So we were like, just wear what you normally wear to work, and most of our teachers are very professional. Miss Bajowski was having a little lax day, but she usually is pretty professional and always wears her little white tennis shoes. So we knew we had to get that shot in here of her feet walking. But other than that, Isabella wears what she normally wears to school since she's just supposed to be a student. So moving on to the other scenes that we had intertwined with our interviews, those we chose to have with our suspects, and we wanted them to be very, not cinematographic, but that at the same time we wanted over-the-shoulder shots, and we needed some close-ups of Mr. Deacon working. We wanted them intertwined to show chaos and like time, I guess, like going back in the future and in the past, like just going back and forth between what is going on and what has happened, to make it seem like Isabella killed him, or Miss Bajowski killed him, or the other suspect, Miss Monahan, killed him. We wanted each one to cause doubt on what the suspect was saying during their interview. Isabella's section, we decided who were going to be actors and who were going to cast in it. Basically, it was going to be Isabella and all of our teachers, because we didn't necessarily want to star in it. We'd rather do like the editing and all that type of stuff. So we knew Isabella was going to be one of the students, because we couldn't have just all adults, because we felt it was too much, not like a school setting. And then Mr. Deacon, of course, is our main star, and he barely talks in it, and he doesn't even talk at all, actually. And we chose to do that because we just like the effects of him working and him like not just being able to see him, you know. And then we had Miss Bujowski, which is my AP Lang teacher this year. She's very sweet, and Mr. Deacon said only if she's in it, he'll do it. So of course we had to have her in it. And then we also had his inclusion teacher, which was Miss Monahan, and she knows Mr. Deacon very well, works with him every day, and it's in the classroom. So when picking casting, it was pretty easy and clearly who was going to be in it, because Miss Bajowski and Mr. Deacon's classrooms are like right across from each other. So we always knew that was going to happen. And then scripting, especially for Isabella's lines, we had to make them sound like realistic and like a teenager of this time would talk about them. So we can't just make it all robotic and not be able to have, you know, a lot of variants and destructors or big words that we wouldn't use. And then for her acting, we had to make sure she was like acting nervous, but not too much. Sometimes she would like get a little stutter and mess up, so we'd have to re-go again. And she was the first one we filmed, so we had to get her all of our kinks out right away. For the setting, we chose, this is Miss Delaney, our media studies teacher. We chose to be in her closet because of just the environment of the book space. I don't know. It was very So for our setting, we chose to be in our teacher, Miss Delaney's closet, and we chose that because we didn't have like a room where you could just interrogate in, and we wanted to have some depth to each scene. So like during the scenes, you could see books behind them, and you could tell we're in like some sort of room, but you don't know what room it is. It's not like a cellar, but it's also not like a room like I am right now. It's not blank. There's things to look at, so it just makes the whole vibe and continues with the English language thing that's going on that we have. And then for Miss Bajowski's lines, we wrote a script for her to come in. It was only a couple questions because it's not that long, but we didn't want her to have to memorize them all. So we were like, just take inspiration from it. We're gonna ask you these questions, but you can answer any way you would like. These are just some ways like we suggest. So she did a lot of ad-libbing in it and would suggest like things to do, and she's a terrific actor. She came in one and done, and it was so great. We did maybe 2 or 3 takes with her, and it was just all worked out so well. She's such a good actor. And then for Miss Monahan's part, And then for Miss Monahan's part, we had her come in and we had her line set for her, but she again did ad-libbing just like Miss Bajowski did. But this time with her ad-libbing, she kind of went on and like rambled a little bit. So like we set her free for the day after a couple takes because we used our whole lunch to film. And then we were looking back on the footage and we realized it was way too long for us to cut any parts of it. So we asked her back the next day and we were like, hey, you can still ad-lib, just letting you know we needed a little shorter because our film's only 2 minutes and your intro's like 45 seconds, so.